Yep.
All right, we are recording. So, I guess first I just want to say hi and thanks to Danielle for asking me to share with you guys tonight. Just to give a little background in case those of you don't know me or watching it later. So, my name is Adrienne Schonkweiler, and I'm a LuLaRoe retailer. I'm a trainer, and I live in Westerville, Ohio. I've been with LuLaRoe since October of 2015. So it's almost 2 years, which is insane to think about. I have a husband and two daughters, and when I started the business, I had a full-time job. I had no intentions. I honestly started LuLaRoe for fun. I just thought it sounded fun. That was it. Um, and over the course of almost 2 years, I have changed completely, and I'm now a stay-at-home mom who does LuLaRoe, and my life is completely different. And I never would have thought that because I always hated direct sales, and I didn't want to be a stay-at-home mom. So here I am. Funny how that works. So I am going to talk tonight a little bit about how to gain new customers, grow your network, and grow your VIP group. So I'm going to start just by talking a little bit about kind of your network and how to find new customers and that type of thing. Because I think that sometimes we make the mistake, I know I have, where I might look at people who've been in the business longer than me even and think like, oh, they have it made. They have all these customers. Like, they don't even have to try. Like, people just come and shop to them. And it's not true, because you always have to be finding new customers. And I think that's a mistake that we make in our heads. It's almost like, oh, well, once I get to a certain point, then, like, I'll have customers and I'll be good and I won't have to, like, try anymore or something. I don't know. But that's not the way it works. You need to always be finding new customers. And there's a reason for that. I don't know if it's a real, like, coined thing. Hi, Jay. But I call it the LuLaRoe customer life cycle. If I were a fancy graphic artist, I would actually make a pretty graphic for this, but it's so true. So have you ever seen that graphic, maybe you posted on your parties or something, where it's like, pick this emoji that shows your level of LuLaRoe, and it's like, level one's like, Lula what? And then number two is like, oh my God, the leggings are amazing. And then number three is like, give me everything. Or no, that's like, oh, there's more. And you go down the cycle, right? And when you get toward the bottom, it's literally like you become a LuLaRoe consultant, or your husband puts you on a spending freeze and you can't really buy anymore. I mean, it literally people, and those of you who've been in the business, you've watched the progression of these people, right? And you want to get them in square one, where they're like, what is this? And you're like, come to me, let me teach you all of the Lula. But what happens is as they go through that stage and that progression, they get to a point where they're not buying 10 pieces a month from you anymore, because they have a closet full of LuLaRoe. They don't need it as much as they did in the beginning. Or they're a little more versed in it, so they're a little more picky. And so maybe instead of, like, buying every time you post, they're really paying attention to what you post and, oh, I'm going to wait and see what she has next box, or that kind of thing. So if you are constantly relying on your old customers, I call them old, like people who bought from you 6 months ago, a year ago, it's possible that they're not buying from you for whatever reason. So if you're not constantly trying to get new people, you're going to find yourself in this position of like, oh crap, nobody's buying. Oh, my VIP page is crickets. Oh, I can't book a pop-up. And I think a lot of us have experienced that, honestly. I know I have totally. And I basically had to change my mindset a few months ago and decide, like, it's when I decided, like, okay, this is my business and I have got to, like, reach new people constantly, and I've got to be doing this. So I think it's important to recognize that, because when you start this business, you have your launch party and you have what you call your warm network. That's your family and your friends. And then you book pop-ups from that, and you start to, introduce yourself to more people, and that expands your network. And I think we make a mistake sometimes of, like, just resting on that warm network. And I think, our business can totally sink if we just rely on that. We have to constantly be looking for that, it's almost like a cold call, like that cold person. So I think this is why home office is constantly, like, constantly pushing the 72-hour game plan. And I know that, we might sit there and be like, oh, the 72-hour, oh, I've heard it a million times. But like this, in theory, this is why they're promoting it, because they know that we need to be out there in front of new people. I think it's part of why Deanne's like, oh, go talk to 10 new people a day, which we'll get back to in a minute. So yeah, how do we do this? Okay, so how do we expand our network? How do we get new customers? Step one is get out of your house, because there's nobody here, right? And being behind your computer does not get you new people. I think I sometimes like to hide behind Facebook, and that's not getting me new people. That's connecting me with the people I already have. So I think that's like step number one. And basically going back to what Deanne was saying, 10 new people a day, like every day, that would be kind of insanity. But I do think if you make it a goal this week that you're going to, pack a bag full of leggings and, hand out 10 pairs of leggings this week and make it your mission, I think that's a really great goal to get in front of new people. And I feel like I hear home office talk about like handing out free leggings all the time. And I used to look at that and be like, oh my gosh, they're just constantly telling us to give away money. But we were recently in a training where they talked about, basically it's this concept called customer acquisition cost, or CAC, which in business, basically it's the cost of what it takes you to get a new customer. And so you look at what you spent on, advertising, say it was an event or, a giveaway or something like that. And then you look at the sales that you got from it. And that's how you figure out the cost of acquisition. So, if you spent $100 on advertising and you sold $100, then it costs, you know what I mean? Like that's how you figure that out. Well, so to give you my background, like previous to LuLaRoe, I have a degree in communications, but my whole background is in sales and advertising. I sold TV advertising for 12 years. And so I was working with companies all the time on their sales and marketing. And I can tell you that businesses spend hundreds of dollars to get one new customer. Depending on the type of business, but like I worked with a lot of car dealers, and a car dealer will spend up to $600 to get a new customer, because if you think about it, they're purchasing a $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 vehicle. So like it still makes good business sense for them to spend that kind of money to get a return on their investment. So in our world, no, people aren't spending $15,000, but they might spend $150. So for us to spend $10, like $10 to get a new customer, like that's a no-brainer. And when they put that in kind of like business terms to me, it was like this light bulb went off. Like, why am I not just constantly walking around like, hey, people, hey, you know what I mean? Like, why am I not doing this more? So I've lately just been taking my little bag and filling it with leggings. And I either put my card, or like this coming Sunday, I have an open house. So I actually am putting a flyer inside, and I'm picking a day this week where I'm just going to go out and meet people, hand them a pair of leggings, and then be like, and you can come shop on Sunday at my open house, and invite them. But I guess in terms of the like, where do you find new people? So basically what I've been doing, I'll give you two examples. Like in the last month, what I've done, I knew I had a dentist appointment, so I packed up leggings to take to my dentist office. I knew that my hygienist had never shopped with me before, but we're friends on Facebook, so she clearly knows I do LuLaRoe. So I made sure I was dressed really cute. And I made sure to pack, free leggings in multiple sizes. And I handed out 6 pairs of free leggings to the hygienist. And when I walked in the door, she was like, oh, is that LuLaRoe stuff? Because people always call it LuLaRoe, and it drives me freaking bonkers. But is it that LuLaRoe stuff yet? And I'm like, yeah, this is it. And I've got a tote full of free leggings here for all the ladies in your office. And she was like, what? So I handed those out. You know what I mean? And then a couple weeks ago, I was like, okay, I need to meet new people. What am I going to do? I know that I need to get my hair cut and colored because the grays were just overwhelming in this region. And the place I had been going previously was near my old office, which is like Grandview and nowhere close. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick a salon here that's like within 10 minutes of my house. And I'm going to go in with a bag full of leggings, and hopefully there's going to be women in there getting their hair done. And I know that this new stylist is going to sit and ask me 100 questions while she has to do my hair. And I'm going to tell her all about what I do. And so at the end of the hour-long, hair appointment, she is already like telling everybody about it. I'm, giving her leggings, giving it like ladies in the salon leggings. And now like she and I have been texting. I'm letting her know about my open house. Like it's just starting this conversation. So I would highly recommend that you just get out of your house, pack a bag of leggings, and go find women. And make sure you're dressed cute. And I know that might sound weird, but like be dressed cute. Like dress strategically in a Carly that's cute, or in patterned leggings that will get you noticed, or something Americana because it's 4th of July this weekend. Like dress strategically. Like don't go out in black leggings and a boring Irma. Like look the part, if that makes sense. You're your own billboard. So ideas for where you can find people are anywhere that women hang out. So that's a lot of places. Anywhere like the library, Target, the park, the zoo, the salon, the dentist office. I mean, like literally, I know that this week, because I want to promote my open house, I'm just going to get dressed one day and I'm just going to like go out. If it's a nice day, I'll go, to the park with my kids and I'll hand stuff out. If it's not, maybe it's like somewhere indoor, like one of those indoor bounce places where my kids can be bouncing and I can be talking to the moms or something. I mean, there are women everywhere, and there are still so many people who still don't know about LuLaRoe. And I know that I'm talking about giving out free leggings, but it's interesting when I spark conversations with people that they don't realize that we're more than just leggings. Like I can't tell you how many people are like, oh, well, I didn't realize that it was, you guys had other things, or, oh, did it start as a legging company? I'm like, no, not at all, but like, it's kind of having those conversations. So other things in terms of meeting new people is I want you to think outside of Facebook for social media. Like, yeah, there's Facebook and Instagram. I totally get that. I'm talking like, how can you find people other ways? There are other social media out there. For instance, if you like live in a neighborhood, then you should be part of Nextdoor. It's a social media, there's an app or a website. And basically you just put in your address and it associates you with your neighborhood. So like I live in Sherbrooke. So like today, for instance, I got on Nextdoor and you can add events to the calendar or you can post on the wall. Well, today I went on and I registered that my event was this coming Sunday for my open house, because then that'll show up as an event for people. And you can pick your neighborhood, which is Sherbrooke, or you can pick all surrounding neighborhoods within like 5 to 10 miles. Duh. And I've actually done this the last 2 months, and I had a woman come to my last open house, and she was like, oh, my husband saw your thing on Nextdoor. She spent like $150. I'm like, why would you not do this? It's free. So I put the event in that I have, but then I also like probably midweek, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, I'll post on the wall part 2, and I'll put like LuLaRoe open house is this coming Sunday, so that it's in 2 different places on Nextdoor, because people get email notifications, they get things on their phone, like it shows up different ways. So I found Nextdoor to be helpful. I'm on LinkedIn. So in my previous business life, like I had a LinkedIn profile and I was connected to all these people. Well, why wouldn't I put on there that I do LuLaRoe? Like that's my job, right? So I am now posting on my LinkedIn, and I post to LinkedIn completely differently than I do on Facebook, because LinkedIn are like business and working people. So I try to post articles that are relevant. Like anytime an article is out there, like the Forbes article or like the Disney announcement or those kind of things, I will post that I'm having an event or an open house. But, that's reaching like a different network. Those aren't necessarily people I'm friends with on Facebook. They're more like business acquaintances. But hey, it's like just trying to touch different people in new ways. And I also have added like LuLaRoe Adrienne Schunkweiler Pinterest page where I like pin different things. I've added a YouTube channel where I just like upload videos, styling things. I mean, like, I just feel like you never know. And it's just different ways to put yourself out there. And then when it does come to your Facebook, Deanne said this at a training once, and it's like now one of my biggest pet peeves. But on your Facebook profile, if you do business on Facebook, which we all do, on your Facebook profile, it needs to be a gorgeous picture of you wearing LuLaRoe, not a Snapchat filter of you or your dog or your kid. It needs to be a picture of you and LuLaRoe, because a lot of customers, when they're interacting with you, this is the only like face they know of you. And you want it to be like, you know, you wearing nice LuLaRoe and not like, you know, a picture of your tree in your yard or something. I don't know. That's just, it's become a pet peeve of mine because Deanne said it once and I'm just like, why do people do that? So the other thing I did that might sound silly is that I changed my email signature. So like when I'm emailing anyone, like it could be my financial advisor or something, like my job is LuLaRoe, right? So I put like LuLaRoe with my contact information, my VIP group, because this is my job. And you never know who you might be randomly emailing and they don't know that you do LuLaRoe, and then it gets a conversation going. So I think sometimes we just need to think a little bit more about like, this is my business and I need to treat it that way. Anyways, does anybody have any questions? Because I'm like totally rambling. So in terms of growing your group, so I was definitely one of those people that was kind of like, my group is crickets, things are changing. Why are people not commenting anymore? People aren't seeing my posts, the Facebook algorithm, right? I think we all kind of have gone through some of that. So obviously, as you are expanding your network, meeting new people, you want to add them to your VIP group. That's like, duh, right? And I have recently started, like, in my pop-ups when I am checking people out. Like, I used to be notorious for just being like, oh, yeah, enjoy my group, and threw my card in the bag. And then, like, or post on the event afterwards, like, thanks for shopping, join my group. And, like, it was not very effective. And so my new thing is, while I'm checking people out, because I'm doing a lot on my phone in Bless, like adding all their items and all that stuff, I usually like am engaging in conversation and I say something like, oh, get out your phone and like, you know, type my name in, and I have them like literally add me there right there on the spot, because they're engaging with me in that moment. And if they do it then they're in, as opposed to like the afterthought of like, oh yeah, and when you get home 20 minutes later, it wasn't happening. So that's
I
one
sometimes offer them $1 off their purchase to join too.
Really? That's cute.
Just
That's a good
FYI.
idea.
Yeah, because then they're more apt to like get it out. And
Yeah, I like that. Even for $1, they'll do it.
yeah, it's crazy, right? And it costs me like nothing.
We all want a deal.
Say that again.
That's really funny. Okay. Oh, and the other thing I've started doing is I will send an email to customers like probably 3 days after their purchase, and I'll just say like, hey, so-and-so, I hope you love your new maxi skirt. You know, would love to see a picture of you in it. Let me know if there's anything I could do to serve you. And I don't push my VIP group, but what did I tell you? My email has a signature that says all my info. So I might say something like, you know, feel free to join my group to stay connected or something, but I'm not like hard sell pushing. It's more like, hey, I'm following up to make sure you really liked your purchase. That's actually been a lot more effective for me lately. So anyways, okay, in terms of your group and how to grow your group, it might sound, this is almost like the opposite of what you would think, but the first step to growing your group is to trim the fat. And I think you might have heard a few people talk about this, and I tried it and it worked. So basically, I think a lot of us, I think the mentality used to be like, I need a ton of people in my VIP group, right? And don't get me wrong, like I look, for the record, I think I have less than 1,500 people in my VIP group. And I've been in business almost 2 years, okay? Because the number doesn't matter. But I used to look at people who had like 3,000, 10,000. I'm like, oh my gosh, they have so many people in their VIP group. It doesn't matter how many people are in that freaking VIP group, because if people are not engaged in that group, then they're actually like dragging the group down, because the more people and the less engagement, the less Facebook actually likes you in your group. So it's actually better to have less people and more engagement, if that makes sense. So I think some of us got into the trap of like, let's do a leggings loop and we'll add all these people to our groups, or multi-canzone sales, or like all these different things where it was just muddying the waters. And so one of the things that is recommended that I heard someone else recommend, and so I did it myself, is where you go in and you just take, you know, some time to go through all the members in your group, and you can sort it and you can look at, who has the word joined. So it'll say, like Adrienne Schonkweiler joined, and then it'll say if like added by so-and-so or and the date or whatever. If it does not have the word joined, you delete them. Because what that means is, and I've actually noticed this, like I just had a friend add me to her lip sense group. Well, because I haven't gone to the group and clicked that okay that she added me yet, I haven't technically joined it. She added me, but I haven't joined it. So basically you have hundreds possibly of people who are in your VIP group who did not ask to be there, are not engaging with you, do not want to be there, and like don't even realize it. And so if you go through and you delete all those joined people, it actually grows your group. And I know that sounds crazy because you are literally deleting people, but it grows your group because it trims the fat and it gets rid of the people who don't want to be there. And then the next thing that I did was then shortly thereafter, I did like one of my weekly inventory postings or something, and I changed the name of the group. You edit the name, because when you edit the name of the group, it changes or it notifies everyone who's in that group. And so actually when you change the name in your VIP group, your group numbers go down. It happens every time because people realize, oh, I'm in that group and I didn't even realize it, and they delete themselves. And again, that's a good thing because you don't want them there. So the more you can actually get your group down to a level where the people who are in it want to be there, the better it will be for you. So I did that, where it was my like online inventory posting that I was trying to do weekly, and I put like inventory uploaded or all inventory posted or something like that, and I changed the name, and I had people shop that I can't even tell you, like they haven't shopped in months, or I've never even heard of them, and I'm like, who are these people? Because suddenly like they're getting notifications of my group and they're like seeing it on their feeds. So I've already noticed a huge change with that, but I've also noticed like the last time that I did a contest, I was on vacation last week, and so I did like free Monroe because I was on the beach, and I had more people comment on that than I've had in months for giveaways. And I know it's not because it was a free Monroe, because I've done all kinds of things, but I think it's because people are seeing my post more, because Facebook is doing whatever it does, saying like, oh, these people want to see this girl. I've also been doing my best to not make every post salesy. I think Danielle does an amazing job of putting together a calendar for you ladies where there's like all these ideas of posts. And it's so true. Like if every post that you do is like, here's an outfit, buy it. Like that's not posts that people engage with. But like, I'll give you a really good example. Before I left for vacation, as many of us do, we go shopping in our Lula rooms for like, oh, what can I take on my trip with me? So I just decided to take a picture of everything that I tried on. And I posted like 10 pictures on my VIP group. And I was like, playing dress up in my Lula closet today. Which outfit should I keep? Like help me pick. And so people were voting, people were commenting and like liking, and I got a ton of engagement. And that was right before I did that contest. And I think it all plays together, that the more, people see that, then the more, engagement you get. So,
Adrienne, quick story. You're absolutely right. Like I've done everything you were talking about, but I had a woman message me today that said, hey, and it was a name that I remember from like maybe 6 or 8 months ago. Hey, tell me more about what's going on Friday at this event that we're doing our team. I have not been seeing your posts and I don't know why. And apparently I've missed some sales that I wanted to go to. So I sent her a little graphic, like how you click see all posts and stuff like that. But because I'd done a lot of the trimming, I think it was finally cycling through again. So it
Right.
makes a ton of sense.
I think it's
And something,
Evan.
what's that?
I said, I like your Sloan, Evan.
It's because he bought it from you. Something that we were told at Train the Trainers this last week was a suggestion from Amy Joy was make a list of 10 things that are you. Like, what are 10 things that you love? It doesn't even have to be Lula related. And they said, make all of your posts somehow revolve around one of those 10 things. Because if you have 10 things, that's a bigger base for people to relate to you. And they're going to relate to one of those things.
Right.
So like if you're in my group, you saw that I did the Harry Potter thing today. because they all know that I'm a Potter nerd. So, just something that revolves around those 10 things at some
Right.
point.
Not everything has to be LuLaRoe all the time.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely think it's a mentality switch. It's not about the number. Sorry, I always get this notification. I do the free Zoom, so it's only 40 minutes, but that's actually good because then it cuts me off. So I think it's a mentality switch. It's not about how many people are in your group at all. It's not about the number. So, and I think that's good because if you're starting out in the business and you're like, I only have 400 people in my group, good. Keep them engaged. Like, keep them. And I can tell you just a quick little soapbox that in my couple months ago transitioning phase of my group, and I'm like, that's when I completely deleted all multi-consultant sales from my, I quit all of them. I deleted them from my feed, and I stopped telling people to go shop them because I realized I was sending all my customers away. And if you guys are in them, or run them, that is totally your business. But I have noticed since quitting those that I've definitely gotten better engagement as well. So just saying. What else was I going to say? Yeah, so basically growing your group doesn't mean growing numbers. It means growing engagements and growing interactions. And I just recommend talking about your why and talking about the business and, just mixing it up and talking about different things. So, yeah, I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? I mean, I like to think that sometimes it's all stuff we've heard, but it's like sometimes, I don't know. For me, it was like I've had different little epiphanies over the last couple months where you know what I mean? And I've been able to watch my sales grow, and you know what I mean? And it's been nice to see that, like, hey, I posted an albums and like people bought maxi skirts. What? You know what I mean? Like, and those are skirts I've had posted for months. Like, what the heck? It's not like it's my brand new out of the box stuff. So, yeah, I guess I've just been trying to really focus on, meeting new people, getting myself out there, not relying on, the things of the past, not relying on, oh, that person only shops with me, because we all know that's not the way it goes in this business, and that's okay. But as that happens, we have to always be talking to new people. And I think it's good to remember that there's still a lot of people out there who, don't know about LuLaRoe. I mean, being on vacation, I can tell you, I was in North Carolina, and at like one of the travel stops, there were a few ladies there in LuLaRoe, but like there was also a lot of ladies not in LuLaRoe. And I actually was really mad at myself for not taking my bag of leggings with me on vacation, but my car was pretty packed, so I didn't really have room. But yeah, so I just would challenge you to get out of your house this week, go find new people, hand them free leggings with, your card, engage in conversations, and make them get the leggings out of the bag and feel them when you're giving them away. I know that sounds weird, but like when I was at my dentist office, they were like, they're in the crinkle bag, you know what I mean? And like, oh, yay, leggings, thanks. And I'd be like, no, feel them. And so the lady would get them out, and then that face that people do when they feel the leggings for the first time. And you're like, yeah, this is why people are so great about that, love them so much. So I always make them feel them because the crinkle bag doesn't do it. So that's that. Anything else that I can help with? Here to answer any questions. Okay. I will cut this off, and then
Anyone, anything?
It's all good. I will post on YouTube, and then I'll post it in the group too tonight.
Awesome. I got a bunch of new ideas from you, so thank you. I wrote a bunch of stuff down.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, ladies. Go kick some booty. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks, babe. We'll see you.
Bye.